What's going on, everybody? It's Jaye the Black here. Another video. Salute to everybody that is tuning in. I really do appreciate that. Once again, we're going to talk about Molly Qerim, Lavar Ball, but in this particular video, we're going to discuss Dez Bryant and him defending Lavar Ball. You don't really hear too many people defend Lavar Ball, but I think it's really interesting that he, Dez Bryant, former NFL player, very talented wide receiver, but injuries eroded his ability to be able to be a dynamic receiver, and also maybe this time to not really be in the game more. Well, right now he's not playing, but he still was able to take time to go on social media and address this situation, which I think is a situation I'm going to continue to speak on until Molly Qerim either retracts or apologizes for her role in this situation. So if you're tired of me making videos about this, deal with it. It's my channel. I'm going to speak on what I want to speak on. Right now, this situation is very interesting to me. So whenever whenever something occurs in this situation, I'm going to speak on it. All right, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now, according to Total Pro Sports, former NFL wide receiver Dez Bryant has never been shy about speaking his opinion on various topics, which is why he recently decided to weigh in on the controversy between Lavar Ball and what he stated on First Take towards Molly Qerim. Now, I want to say this about Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant is a unique guy because he's not a sheep. He's not one of these athletes who go along just to get along. He is outspoken. I think he spoke out against Kaepernick and kneeling for the national anthem. I think I made a couple of videos about Dez Bryant. Y'all can go and check them out. So that's why I've always been a fan of Dez. He's not one of these people who just go along just because everybody else is doing it. In a series of tweets posted in the early morning hours of Sunday, the former Dallas Cowboys wide receiver defended the actions of Ball and stated that it should be Qerim as the one to apologize. And I very much so agree with that. Some of you may not. I've seen comments where there were people who were saying that he was out of line. They keep bringing up the fact that would he have said that to Stephen A. Smith? Well, I guess he would have to be in the scenario to know now, wouldn't we? Anyway, it says Molly Qerim, I'm late, but I just seen the ESPN video of you and Lavar Ball. Just being real, you owe that man an apology, straight up, Bryant wrote. I didn't even sense foul play from him. You dramatically overreacted. Mature women like Doris Burke need those jobs. He might be right because, Molly Qerim, to me, I feel like they want to replace her. I think that she's not being a moderator. Your job is to be a moderator. If you look at Undisputed, the female who's on the show with them, she's a moderator. She is not interjecting herself in it to the point of why are you speaking, and then you're speaking about things you know nothing about. You look crazy. There's been instances of Molly Qerim looking foolish, looking like she didn't know what she was talking about, because she wants to be a part of the conversation. And that's the problem. You got people who want to be a part of a conversation but don't know what they're talking about. And it would be good for a veteran, either a kind of like how Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless got their jobs. Skip Bayless was a beat reporter for Dallas Cowboys and I think other teams as well. Stephen A. Smith, he followed the Philadelphia Eagles. He wrote for them, I think the 76ers as well. They need to find a female moderator who had that similar path, but they want to follow the Fox News route and just find a female who looks good in a dress, a short dress at that. They did that with Carrie Champion, and they want to find somebody with a look, and they did that with Molly Qerim. Instead of finding somebody who's actually worked in sports, worked their way up in the ranks, and should be on that particular stage, sharing it with those guys and being knowledgeable, even as a moderator, being knowledgeable. But I know that position is just for the pretty face, but hey, That's just me. Especially because when you interject, right? When you interject, man, you got to know what you're talking about. You're on live TV in front of millions of people. People are watching this on YouTube, live TV. These clips are going to be out here forever. So you're going to make yourself a meme. During an appearance on First Take last week, Qerim stated that she wanted to switch gears to another topic, to which Barr replied she could switch gears with me, that she could switch gears with me anytime. ESPN reportedly banned him from all their platforms going forward. That's until next season. Let's say Lonzo Ball has a big game, a couple of big games for the Pelicans. Do you really think they're not going to bring LeVar Ball on the show? That would probably be one of their highest viewed shows ever. But there's other networks that could bring on LeVar Ball. And ESPN probably did not want to ban him, but they got to make sure they don't get the SJWs upset. They've already upset them enough by the changes that they're making on the network. Bryant continued, I have an opinion just like the rest of this world. I said nothing bad about Molly nor LeVar. Bryant wrote, I'm saying more women who know their stuff and smart enough to know every man don't want them. It's a job. She's out of line. I didn't see nothing sexual about what he said. And that was people disagreeing with him, going back and forth with him, because of course they don't want us as men having an opinion. We as men are just supposed to shut up and go along with it. And when we don't, we get criticized. We get criticized because we don't go along with the BS. We have our own opinions. That's why I get a lot of flack for what I say, because I have my own opinion. I'm not going to sit here and let people control and manipulate how I feel about a certain situation. I'm not weak-minded. I don't need other people to speak for me. I can speak for myself. And that's what Dez Bryant is doing. Dez Bryant is absolutely correct. She's on that show interjecting herself, and she doesn't know what she's talking about. And in this situation, she played it out in a very dramatic manner, and it's just uncalled for. Molly Qerim used to have thick skin. Okay. You could have a conversation around her and she not get easily offended. I don't know what has happened. I think her being married now may have affected that. Maybe she's never been married before. I had some idiot say, how do you know that she wants to date him? You don't know that. Bro, I know women a lot more than you. And I know body language. I know the fact that when he says switching gears, you think about, something in a relations manner that lets me know where your mind is, i.e. you want this person. So miss me with that. You don't know if she's into him. And of course, this was a guy who said this. This was a guy who was questioning me, saying that because a lot of these guys they don't understand women. This is why these women play games with them, manipulate them. Then they go on YouTube talking about, I'm red pill. I'm going my own way. Clowns, man. Straight up and down clowns. You're not going nowhere, but you're going to be the same person you always been. Okay. Okay, this is the rest of the article here. It says, when somebody asked Ball about him being banned, the outspoken was unapologetic about him being basically banned. And I already made a video on that. Damn, they gotta fix these articles up. But I truly believe that Dez and especially more black men need to speak out, because there is a battle against men who are masculine, men who are outspoken. You see, they only want us to be outspoken if we're controlled. If we say if we say things that they want us to say and we're outspoken, they're okay with that. But if we are outspoken and we don't care, we have no filter, they have an issue with that. And they have an issue with it because they don't want men who speak for themselves. They don't want men who, they don't need, okay? They don't need to be told how to live their life, how to think, how to be men. they do whatever it is they want to do. And I think that in these situations, unfortunately, when you have a woman like Molly Qerim, again, she never was this sensitive. She was never this sensitive. I don't know if she's been radicalized by being on ESPN, but I don't know. Maybe this is who she always was. But for her to weaponize this, talking about you're going to HR, this is why more of these pro athletes need to speak up. Because they see LaVar Ball and they actually look up to LaVar. Say whatever you want about him. You could say he's braggadocious. You could say he's a manipulator. He uses his kids. But guess what? Is his kids complaining? Is his kids distancing themselves from him? He's probably made a lot of sacrifices for his kids that we will never know. And that's why those kids respect him and they've stood by his side. That's why his wife has stood by his side. You don't hear a peep from her. Because they know who he is. Now maybe he's putting on a persona. Maybe he's being an entertainer. But he's doing whatever it takes to build up his brand. So when he does these interviews and he's out there with it, that's him pushing his brand. And he doesn't care whose feelings get hurt. Which how it should be. We should be able to be ourselves. And we should be able to speak in the manner we want to speak. Now, if he was being disrespectful to her, I can understand the outrage. But he wasn't being disrespectful to her. I just think that you have a woman who's grown very sensitive. I feel like she may have some pressure on the job. And, you know, I also said that in the live stream that I did on LaVar Ball, I said that her being with Jalen would make it a little bit difficult for them to get rid of her. And I, of course, asked somebody to say, well, you know, her being with Jalen is not going to change, her being let go. Bro, once again, you do not understand society. You do not understand how corporate America works. Jalen is one of their utility guys. Like, they put him all over ESPN. He's one of their most reliable people on that network. That is why I said that. And they don't want to look bad in his eyes if they just flat out let his wife go. But see, once again, you have people who don't understand anything that's going on around them. So y'all understand in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.